Hi, Jamie.
Hi, Carol.
Well, welcome back from vacation. Working vacation.
Working vacation. A little vacation in there, and then we have to have something to do. Otherwise, my husband goes stir crazy.
Yeah, so you actually have been back for
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Almost 2 weeks.
Probably almost 2 weeks, yeah.
2 working weeks, anyway.
Okay.
And I'm not still back in the groove.
I was going to say, because I know that first week you were like, we're going to bed early.
Yeah.
Trying to catch up.
Part of it is that, okay, so for the people that know, why we were in Sturgis for 2.5 weeks, and while we're out there, we were working security at a bar where they do bands, and so we were at the door, and so typical nights, we're getting done at 2 to 3 in the morning and going to bed at 4 o'clock. And so then you come back and got to go back to the real world where you need to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning. And so it's like, so you're crashing about, 8:30 at night.
Yeah, I was going to say your body has to readjust
Yeah,
again.
so I may still be doing that. It's like I'm still going to bed, I'd say 10:30, which is early for me.
That's late for me. Yeah. Because I know that one night you were like, well, I'm going to go to bed. And I was like, really? Before me?
Yeah.
It was like 8:30 or something like that.
So.
But while you were gone, I had the honors of taking care of your gardens.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
I was like, when I saw the video, I went, dude, I need to go home.
I was going to say, I was just like, there's just string beans and or green beans.
Yeah.
I grew up, they call them string beans, but green beans and your cucumbers were just crazy.
Yeah, I think you may have gotten the bulk of them, which is fine.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they're still producing, but they're slowing down.
Well, when we get that really hot streak in there
Yeah.
after you guys came back, and the temps were, your temp was like 105.
Oh, yeah.
Feels like temperatures or whatever, and so it was really, really warm.
Kind of slows down. It's still doing. I mean, I'm watering it, and it's still doing it. I'm still getting stuff.
I know that green beans will stop producing if it gets too hot.
Yeah.
I learned that through 4-H with Madison showing garden produce, and we couldn't figure out why we didn't have green beans in our hoop building. And the master gardener who was judging her, she asked him, and he was like, too hot in there. I have a high tunnel as well, and it gets too hot, so you'll have lots and lots of foliage, but you have no beans. As soon as it cools down, you will have beans galore. And he was absolutely right. As soon as the temps cooled down in the hoop building, and I mean, it was nothing for it to be 120 plus in there.
Oh, I bet.
And he says, you'll have plenty of beans. And he was right. I had lots of greens. So it might need to cycle here.
Because that's why I plant pole beans, because they will produce here in Minnesota in a zone 4 until frost takes them out. Mm-hmm. And so as long as I keep them watered and keep them alive, so maybe I will end up with more.
Yeah, you might get some more once the weather cools just a little bit here. So I got cucumbers and green beans and a few tomatoes, and I think I picked one jalapeno pepper. And what else did I take? I got a sweet pepper too. There was a green sweet pepper that was ready.
The banana peppers?
And I took some banana peppers.
I've got banana peppers you wouldn't believe.
That's what was producing while you're gone. The tomatoes were just starting.
Yeah.
And so those tomatoes I got off of your garden, I cut those up and put those in the freezer to save for later. Yeah. There wasn't a whole lot.
That's what I'm doing now. And that's usually what I end up doing. I don't ever, once in a while, I'll get like a bulk, a huge box where I have to process them. But I usually have to save up a couple bags to be able to have enough to do anything.
Well, I just still can't believe how much produce comes off of your boxes with that square foot gardening on your 4x4 boxes, raised beds. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I was like trying to put the cucumbers back up because they were creeping out into everything. And
they had totally covered, by the time I got back, the cabbage that I had planted, but then something had eaten the cabbages, and all I had was the veins. So I pulled all of them, and I'm wondering if we have lots of grasshoppers this year.
Yes.
And so I'm wondering if the grasshoppers just stripped them. And there's really nothing that I know of.
Yeah.
I wouldn't spray in my garden for grasshoppers.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the grasshoppers have died down a little bit out here, but there's still a lot of them. They're still very, very thick for some reason this year. Let's see what else is going on with your gardens, but I lost my train of thought there for a second. So what have you harvested since you've been home? Okay, so I came home and I went through and I picked the beans, picked what cucumbers were there, and I had quite a few of them. And so I've eaten. Nobody else in my house eats.
I've eaten them. I really haven't given some away because I knew I wouldn't have time to process. I've picked banana peppers, the cayenne peppers. I have cayenne peppers like you can't believe, and I'm letting them go all red. So I may not
hot.
pick. Yeah. So my thing is I want to dry them and make red pepper flakes.
Oh,
And
okay.
so I will let them go.
And that is something you use in
I
your...
use red pepper flakes a lot because we don't use chili powders a lot, but I'll use pepper flakes.
Oh, okay.
Red pepper flakes. So, like, what else have I picked? I picked some basil.
Oh, yes. You had some herbs growing over there.
I still have lots of herbs that I'm trying to catch up with everything.
Because you did oregano before you left.
Yep, I've done oregano. I had a list here of the herbs I've got. I've done parsley. Parsley needs to be done again. This will be my third cutting off the parsley. I did lemon balm, basil, and dill. Dill seeds. The seeds are red, are dry and stuff, ready to be picked. And I've got to get them. I've gotten half of them picked. I need to pick the rest before we get a storm. And
I suppose that'll just...
Yeah, that'll push them all over the place. And we haven't had rain since we got back, I don't think.
Boy, it rained while you guys were gone.
Yep, it rained when we were in South Dakota a lot.
Yeah, I don't think... I honestly don't know. It's pretty dry out here.
Yeah, I've been watering everything every other day. So, yeah, we haven't had rain. So, I bet those dills been like, oh, yeah, I'll get them. There's no rain in the forecast. So it's like...
So if you don't get them and we do get a storm or rain or whatever, will they self-seed themselves?
Yeah, that's what happened. They self-seed everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Not where I want them. They will go everywhere.
So they are pretty easy to grow. So to speak.
I have not. I planted my first batch of dill, I don't know how many years ago, probably 20 years ago. And I have never bought dill seeds again. Only if I wanted to change varieties, and I don't see why.
So what do you do with your dill? Do you can pickles or not?
No, I can't can a pickle for my...
Yeah, you're right there with me.
So a lot of times I just make refrigerator pickles.
Mm-hmm.
What I used it in something. I used it in a sour cream, cucumber, onion dish salad last week.
Okay, so you use the seed or
you
use the weed?
It called for the seed.
Seed, okay.
And I didn't think it was enough dill, so me that likes dill, I put more dill seed in it, or dill weed in it, and I thought, well, that's still not enough. So I put some dill oil in it, and it's like, man, that's about right.
Oh my goodness.
I like my dill. And I was the only one that eat it, so it's like I could make it as dilly as I wanted.
Yeah, that's true. If you're the only one eating it.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't eat it. It had sour cream in it.
Yeah, I know I wouldn't eat it.
You wouldn't eat it.
No, I like dill too, but I don't know if I would put that much dill in.
I like dill.
Let's see. So, is there anything in your gardens that you haven't harvested yet for the season? I know you've done onions. You had those all pulled before you left.
Yep. Those are all, and that was good. I mean, that was the best onion crop I've ever gotten. And I chalk it up to your compost and your bunny manure and stuff. So those are good. Did not get anything replanted there, but we'll talk about that later. I still have rosemary, thyme. I have fennel. I chopped the seeds off so the fennel wouldn't make seeds. I want to come in and harvest some of the fronds.
Okay.
Is that how you say that?
I think so.
Because it tastes like licorice. And actually, I've got my grandson out. My grandson will go out there and pick it and eat it.
Okay.
Because he's like, what's this, Grandma? And I go, and I pick it up and I go, here, taste it. And he didn't spit it out. And so he'll go out there and he'll pick a piece and eat it. I still have more parsley. I have beets yet to harvest, and I have carrots yet to harvest. And there's beans, and there's carrots, and there's tomatoes, tomatillas.
Yeah, your tomatillas, that plot was insane.
Yeah, and they're just getting bigger and bigger. Yeah. Now, I did watch a video the other day where she said anything that, this late in the season, that if it has blossoms on it, that you should probably just trim your plants, because really there's not enough time for it to mature. And so that forces it to put energy into ripening the plant.
Yep, that makes sense.
The fruit that's there. I may wait a week for that, and we'll see. Because I always cover my tomatoes and stuff, so I can probably, if we get a frost, and I cover it. Sometimes we'll get another 2 to 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So that pushes us back into October. So I may not do that, but we may do a plant or two.
Okay.
Especially maybe their tomatillos. They're like crazy.
They are crazy over there.
I'll have to take a video of those.
Yeah, I was like, I can't believe how much produce you have hanging on those vines.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just absolutely crazy. And who knows what it looks like now, because I haven't been there since you came back. So,
well, and this is only my second year growing tomatillas.
mm-hmm.
You know, my husband, my son-in-law is Mexican descent. And so he loves salsa verde. And my husband discovered that he likes salsa verde. And so it's like, okay, well, I might as well try to grow it.
Yeah, no kidding. You did a really good job. I mean, if you can get that harvested and stuff, that's like it turned out really, really quite nice.
Yeah, so I'll push those out as long as I can, cover them.
And I think you said you also harvested your potatoes.
I started.
Okay.
I have 4 plastic whiskey barrel types size barrels on the back of my house, and I done one, and I bet I probably have 5 pounds out of it. I've got everything from like the baby all the way up to a good, I don't know,
bake size.
Yeah, bake size. These are a gold, I think, or are they a red? Memory short. I haven't looked at them for 2 days because then I took them and laid them out in the garage and turned the ceiling fan on so there's air circulating in the garage to cure and stuff. So, but I still have 3 more. But then I was gifted grapes.
Yes.
Our neighbor came over, who is our Lutheran pastor, and said, "Hey, do you want some grapes?" And I said, "Sure." Not knowing that I would end up with 5 gallons of grapes.
That's grapes. If you can get them at the right time, they do. You can get quite the nice little harvest off.
He's
of those
going,
vines.
"How many quarts of juice did you get?" And I'm going, "I have no idea." He goes, "Well, you got to use them." And I go, "I have a refrigerator." I have 2 refrigerators, so I can.
So you put them aside until you can.
Yeah,
get
and
to
so
them.
while I'm processing, we'll talk about when we talk about preserving my struggles with doing grapes.
Some little pointers that you've learned or little tips here as to how to handle grapes.
What you shouldn't do.
Yes, let's see.
Sweet corn.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she didn't.
Yeah, I did sweet corn.
You did sweet corn.
I bought sweet corn. I don't have enough land to grow corn, so I did buy 2 batches. You know, I bought 9 dozen baker dozens.
Mm-hmm.
I bought 4 one week and 5 the next week, and so I am still working on that. Some of it's, it laying in the freeze dryer trays freezing, and so then I vacuum packed some of them this morning. So that I'm like, it's in the freezer. That one can wait. There's these grapes I have to do.
Yes.
It's that time of year where it's like, okay, what do I do first?
Right. Yeah, I know. Sometimes it's hard to juggle what needs to be done first, and it's nice to have a freezer when you can, put something away until you have time to deal with it or whatever.
Yeah.
So, now you talked about possibly your fall planting. Now you mentioned cover crops to me.
Yes, that's so where I did not, before getting ready to go vacation, was when I should have planted my fall crop of carrots and beets. Did not happen. And then, you spend that first week back trying to unload the motorhome and everything like that. And so it didn't happen. And so now I'm like going, what if I just I have cover crop seeds that I bought a few years ago and never used.
And what are these cover crops?
There a lot of clover.
Okay.
And I think it's mainly clover and stuff. And so I was going to get compost from you. And then because onions are a heavy feeder.
Yeah.
And so then I'm going to put compost on there, and then I'm going to plant those and leave them over the winter. And then in the spring, I will turn them over for, green manure is what they call it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
a lot of organic farmers do that on a big scale.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is, I've got a 4x4, and then I got a half of where my cayenne peppers are that I, harvested already. So.
Okay. Well, that'll be interesting because you have not done.
I've never done that.
Okay.
I've read it many times that it's good to do. So.
Okay.
Because I'm wondering if that fixes nitrogen in the soil, or I'm not, I don't know the science. Not a science person.
And are you doing any fall planting at all of anything?
If it depends on how everything goes, I may try to sneak some radishes in spots.
Okay.
Because those are
short
quick.
term. Yep.
And maybe a little bit of lettuce.
Okay.
Because I'm the only one that eats loose leaf lettuce.
Okay.
because
Yeah, I'm not a fan, so.
yeah, and I like it in the fall because it doesn't get hot, and so it doesn't get. So I'll wait until after this weekend
Right.
because it's supposed to get to 100 this weekend again.
Yep.
And so I'll wait. It would help probably germinate it, but I'll probably wait.
Yeah.
Because we're busy this weekend.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. And then you had mentioned your green stock and how you had a little trouble.
Yes. So back to compost, good soil. I had bought just a container, bags of containered. It's a raised bed container.
Like
soil.
Dirt or soil. Okay.
Soil. And so I thought, yeah, we'll just use it. I just used it. I didn't amend it with anything. Didn't put any of your compost in it. And my green stock has struggled. The veggies kind of got to a certain size and it just stopped growing.
Mm-hmm.
And then before I went on vacation, or a few weeks before I went on vacation, I watered them with a fish fertilizer, and they seemed to kind of had a boost. But then, of course, I've been gone, right. And that was too much to ask my son to do.
Yes.
And so they have just kind of stalled, and and then the grasshoppers again.
Right.
The radishes and the lettuce have gone to seed. They're still there. And so I'm pretty much going to pack that in. Well, except maybe I will I got worm castings. I may just throw some worm castings in the spots and grow my radishes and stuff there.
Oh, okay.
And stuff. But then the second one, I do have a second one going where I took a different dirt. I took a Pro Mix, if you know anything about that, and put a bucket of your compost in it and some worm castings. And planted strawberries in it, and my strawberries have been doing good. They need to be trimmed because with the hot weather and stuff, some of the leaves burned.
Yep, I'm sure they did.
And stuff, but my son kept them alive.
Yep, I harvest one strawberry off your plants.
Oh, you went around and looked?
I
huh?
did. I come around the house and I was already in my van and I was like, "Is that a strawberry?" I saw this little bright red thing there, and I was like, "Well, I'm gonna go check." And I'm like, "Oh, look at that strawberry."
Yep. We picked grandson and I picked one the other day. It was really funny. He picked it and he goes, "Oh, I'll eat this later." And I'm going, whoa. So I asked him, "Are you going to eat this?" And he goes, "No, I'll eat it tomorrow." I'm like going, "No, you have to eat it now." No, he never did eat it.
Well, it was delicious. The one that
I'd had a few before we'd gone. And I think that's probably about the only reason I did the strawberries was for my grandkids to come over and pick them.
Mm-hmm.
If I got enough to do anything with, that would be a bonus.
So will those strawberry plants stay alive in your green stock?
They say yes.
Okay.
I have a little pop-up greenhouse that I bought from Aldi's, and it's for, it's called a winter protector. So it's a little thicker mill with plastic over it. And so I am going to put that on the south side out by my garden of the shed there and put that hoop house over it and try to overwinter it.
Oh,
and so we say, the worst happens is that it dies and then I replant it.
Right.
That's a ever-bearing
strawberry,
so you get berries all. And that's the reason I did it,
because
then you'd get it all season, not just one big chunk.
One big harvest, so to speak.
So if you lost them.
Okay, well, that'll be interesting to see if they survive our Minnesota winter.
Yeah. They say the green stock, because that was one of my concerns. Are these going to crack in our winters if I leave? Because they say you can leave them full of dirt and everything. One of them, the one that's not doing great, I will probably maybe dump the dirt and pack it away.
Start over
because of the bad dirt.
Yeah, there's something not quite
right
working for you there.
Yeah, so it's like, we'll do it.
Pico.
Okay. I think we will stop here and take a quick break to hear from picosupply.com, and we'll be back in a minute.
Family-owned PeteCoSupply.com brings small-town customer service to their online farm store. PeteCoSupply.com specializes in automatic waterers from top brands such as Miro, Jug, Franklin, Trojan, and Richie, as well as other products for your operation. Find your farm supplies and automatic waterers at PeteCoSupply.com. That's PETECO Supply.com. PeteCo Supply.
And we're back, and I just remembered that we forgot to talk about your grapes and what you did with processing and the trouble you ran into.
Oh, yes. So not knowing anything about grapes, And I'm like, okay, my thinking is like you do a tomato, you need to wash them and then you need to, heat them up, boil them a little bit is what my recipe said. And then you need to strain them. Well, I have a KitchenAid with the vegetable fruit strainer on it to take seeds and the skins off. And so that's what I was doing. And not knowing that the seeds in there can get caught in there and jam it.
So what kind of mess did you have? And did you take a picture of it?
No, of course I forgot to, because I was just so flabbergasted because my machine started to make a funny noise. Like something's breaking. And it's like, oh. Yeah. So you shut off the machine and then it's like, okay, you've got to get all the grapes out of there and stuff. And it's got juice. I had juice splattered everywhere. And so I got it off and I could not unscrew the ring that holds the strainer on. And so I got my son in there, who's 27, big, strong guy. And I'm like it took him quite a bit to get that loose. I think we ended up running hot water we ran cold water on it thinking that you'd, contract it.
Yep.
And stuff. And he finally did. And it was so plugged with the seeds on the end that it couldn't push them out. And so I took I have an old-fashioned ice pick. And so I was picking at this running water on it, picking at it, running. So it probably took me almost a half hour to get all those seeds cleaned out of this little tube. And so it's like, And so then I was talking to my brother, and he said, well, they look like Concord grape, because he saw my picture on our Facebook page. And he goes, those look like a Concord type of grape. And I'm like, okay. And so then I get out the instructions for my strainer, and it says, for any grape, but Concord style. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. So now we have to find a different. So I'm just going to use a strainer and push it out, the
like
juice.
Through a cheesecloth or something like that.
Not the most ideal way to do it, but I will get through it.
And so you're making juice, and then you're going to make some jelly, jam.
I'm going to make a jam. I'm going to use the pomoda. Is that how you say the pectin?
Oh, that I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's
I know what you're talking about. It's the low sugar one.
Low sugar one, so you don't have to. So you go to their website, they have oodles of recipes.
Nice.
And so they had grape jam or a grape butter. And so that's what I'm going to do. But with the juice that I got a gallon and a half of juice from my Monday night fiasco. But with the other 4 gallons, I am going to make juice. And so I'm just going to use it like I did my cranberries in January.
That's how I did it. Yeah.
I'm just going to rinse them to get any extra bugs or fiber out of them. And then I think I saw the recipe was 2 cups of grapes to like a cup of sugar, and then fill it with water, rings, put your rings and lids, your 2-piece on it. And then water bath them for 25 minutes. But then I was looking, I'm like, why can't I pressure can these? And so I looked, because it's going to be juice. I don't care if they're firm or not.
Right.
And so I have an old pressure cooker recipe book. And it said I can to make juice or fruit, and it's like 10 minutes at 5 pounds.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like going, with my I have 2 electric pressure cookers. And so that's what that I can put quarts in. So then I'm going to make quarts. Tonight I will start that process.
Okay.
To see how many quarts of juice I can get out of all those grapes.
Yeah. Well, good luck. I know I did mine when I made our grape juice from the grapes we had growing out here. I did those in half gallons. I canned them in half gallons. I water bathed them though. Oh. And yeah, I have a canner that's deep enough for that.
I don't think I have a canner.
The only thing the half gallons, I think it's only like fruit juices that you can do, and I think you might be able to do tomato. Oh. Because there's enough acid there.
Oh, okay.
It's acidic enough. But that's what I did. It turned out wonderful. Grapes are really, really good.
I would be. Now I sit and think about, okay, how am I going to use this? What's the quantity I'm going to use? So I would not use a half gallon at a time. Mm-hmm. And so a quart's more doable for that.
That makes sense.
Because I will probably, I will try to get my grandkids to drink it if they will drink it. But otherwise, I will probably mix it with my kombucha.
Oh, that's right. You like to put fruit juice in with
my
your kombucha.
kombucha. I don't
Nice.
second ferment. You know, it's not.
That's not your thing?
Yeah, because it takes up so much space to put the fruit in the jars, and then you got to leave the jars sit out for 3 days and stuff, and that's in my small kitchen. It's kind of hard.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. Okay. All right. So have we kind of covered everything as far as your garden and
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say
processing?
the rhubarb's done for the year. It's
Yep.
very stressed by this heat.
I was just gonna say, I bet those 100-degree days that
Yeah.
we had took
That
its
and
toll.
not probably not enough water.
And yeah, and then they're on the south side of a
Yeah.
building, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm sure they got that full heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right next to the base of the building there is cement.
But rhubarb's resilient, man.
Oh yeah, it
It'll
comes
be back.
Oh yeah. I mean, even in the years of drought, it always comes back the
comes
next
back.
year.
Okay, well, let's move on to let's talk a little bit about our cheese.
Oh yeah.
We cut into the cheese I made in February of
February?
this year, and we're in the end of August. And I cut into it. I had made the traditional cheddar that you find in this book right
You can
here.
hold it up and show it to the camera.
Yes, this book here.
It's a little different right now because I got a newer edition.
Yep, this is. Oh, I got this way back, probably in 2012. And there's a traditional cheddar recipe in there, and I tried that, and it made wonderful curds.
Oh, yeah,
That's
we
the
love
curd
the curds.
recipe that we use, and so I thought I would make an excellent cheddar, and I made it. Put it. Let's see. We used the Avid Armor vacuum chamber sealer, and sealed up that cheese, and I opened it. Was it last weekend or the weekend before? I don't remember.
Was it when the night that I forgot the cheese?
I don't remember, but we opened it up and that was pretty good.
It was good cheese.
Yeah, so it sat in my refrigerator in a drawer for 6 months approximately. And yeah, that turned out really nice considering we didn't use a cheese cave or any of that kind of stuff. We just
Yeah. Because what is the, I don't remember. What's the ideal temp for a cheesecake? 45?
45,
55?
50, somewhere in there. You know, like a wine cooler makes
Yeah.
a really good cheese cave. But I thought that turned out really,
did.
really, really well. We're still working on it because it was a 2-pound.
It was a big.
Yeah, because it was a 4-pound wheel, or it might have been a little bit heavier than that. Because I used 4 gallons of milk to make that, so I think it was between 4 and 5 pounds. And so we had cut it in half, and then vacuum sealed the 2 halves.
Yep.
And so we've now
You've
eaten
only
one
Wow,
half,
okay.
and I've got more in there. But now I'm thinking, oh, now all that time that I haven't been making cheese, and if 6 months is like that sweet spot,
Yeah.
it's going to be February.
Christmas.
If I started now,
Yeah.
we're looking at February, March before that. We get that decent cheese, but I don't have room in my refrigerator right now
Yeah.
to put cheese in there anyway. But the cows are calving right now, and so we are getting more milk. So this is a good time to start with the cheeses
Yeah, it is.
again. And maybe I'll have to do something like Kelsey does, and I'll take the stuff that I have aging in there. And Kelsey from dffarmstead.com, she just shreds hers. She doesn't even age it that long. She's always in a hurry to get to her cheeses, and they eat a lot of cheese at her house. And she shreds it all and then throws it in the freezer.
Oh.
And so I thought, well, maybe that's what I have to do with some of the stuff that's been aging that we haven't been able to get to yet.
Oh, yeah.
Is go ahead and shred it or slice it or whatever and throw it in the freezer, and then it would free up some space
Yeah.
for some new, fresher cheeses.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where I'm sitting on. I don't think I'm going to change my recipe for the cheddar.
Oh, no.
I think I'm going to stick with that one since we really like the curds, and now we know we can get a fairly decent cheese.
Yeah. You just got to be patient.
Yes, you just got to tuck it away and forget about it.
Because we've eaten it at all stages of it.
Mhm.
And, it was good. It was a good cheese, but you
Mhm.
didn't have that nice cheddar taste.
Right.
It needs to develop, apparently.
Yes, it does, and it does work with the vacuum sealed.
Yeah.
It does work. And then, of course, since our cows are producing more milk, we're kind of in heavy butter mode around here right now.
Yeah.
And so you'll probably see a lot of butter posts because we are any extra milk is being made into cream, which is in turn made into butter. And so we've been doing a lot of butter here lately, and it looks so pretty. the yellow because they're still on pasture, of course, and so our even our milk has a yellow tinge.
It
to
does.
It. Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at right now with what's going on in the dairy business. So we'll have lots and lots of butter to get us through the winter.
Yes.
And
get
to
ready for
supply
Christmas.
our herd share people, our milk share people who subscribe to that and are able to have butter. So it'll be really, really nice to have that stockpiled. Anything else?
Trying to think what else.
Anything with dairy? You're not doing anything with
Cheese.
Not even clabbering or anything like that right now because you're kind of in garden mode.
Yep. It's taken the majority of my time. What I have, let alone that we had a wedding thrown in there, so that took all day Saturday because it was up by St. Cloud, or it was in St. Cloud, so that takes a full day. I got a little bit of things done in the morning before I thought, okay, I better clean up now, be presentable for the wedding, and then grandkids are here, kids are here. And then, we are self-employed. And so you got to run that business. Got to start making money to pay for that vacation we took. And then last night was our anniversary. So there was another evening that I didn't get to do anything.
Happy anniversary.
Yes, thank you. And so now it's like, okay, I have 2 days, 2 evenings that I have available. Then we'll be out here Friday night again.
Yep.
And so we'll see how much. And then we're helping our son-in-law and daughter dig window wells this weekend. So,
you got a full plate going on there.
Yeah, so trying to cram. It always seems like this when it's like I just want to, preserve what I'm growing here, and there's always these things to do.
But you're not the only one who's like that. I mean, it just seems like all of a sudden the garden just comes in, and then of course it's always at some other busy time. That you're busy. So
hence why I pick things and like tomatoes. I mean, I don't even peel them. I just, if there's a bad spot, I cut the cores out, cut them in half, and throw them in a Ziploc bag and throw them in the freezer and figure, okay, I have until the middle of October before my cow comes. So then we'll try to work through it, and when things start slowing down, try to work through what's in the freezer.
Yep, that makes total sense.
So yeah, that's probably everything at my house.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if I've preserved besides green beans. I mean.
I know. What are you doing with your green beans? Are you just putting them in the freezer?
Well, I'm putting them in the freezer now because, unfortunately, my freeze dryer is down right now, and I need to find an appliance repairman that will come out, and we think the compressor's bad. And so they are sending me they said they'll send me a compressor.
Because it's under warranty.
It's still under warranty, but I have to find, since somebody threw the box away and I couldn't ship it to them, I have to find somebody to come out and vacuum the system down, take the Freon out of it, install the part, and then recharge the Freon.
Okay.
And stuff. And so I figured, I could have either paid to ship it, or I could pay somebody to fix it.
And you have a Stay Fresh.
I have a Stay Fresh freeze dryer.
Okay.
Which I like. Well,
and you were happy with the customer service?
Yes, he's very. I almost emailed him on Sunday, but Tim seems like the guy that will be working on Sunday. I'm like going, no, he does not need to work on Sunday. I'm sorry, I'm self-employed. You don't need to work on Sunday.
Okay. Well, that's good. Well, I hope you find someone who can
that will be the challenge, is find a
because you're going to freeze dry your green beans to just like a snack. Or you're going to reconstitute them and
no, I want a snack. I want to replace those. I used to like those. They're peas and shaped snacks that you can find at the produce section, and I've seen them at Walmart and stuff.
Okay.
I don't remember the names of them, but they're basically mushed up peas that they add other things in and then form them into
the shape of a pea.
But there's other things in there that I don't want in there.
Okay.
And so I thought, if I can freeze dry them, and if it turns out kind of like a cheese puff texture, that would be just so yummy.
I was going to say, a lot of people say that's what they do. They buy frozen vegetables and they put them through the freeze dryer, and then they just eat them like potato chips, so to speak. Because
I salted them. When I laid them out on the freeze dryer trays, and so that they'd flash freeze and they wouldn't be one big clump. And then I put salt on them before I put them in the freezer. So they're already salted. So I'm like, fingers crossed.
Okay.
That they'll turn out.
Well, hopefully they do for you. That sounds pretty tasty. The only other thing I wanted to talk about was our UPAN.
as she tries to lift it. It's heavy.
It's so heavy.
Have we weighed it? We need to weigh it.
No, I have not weighed it, but the thing is heavy. I have to use both,
Both hands. Yep.
Good thing they have that little lip on there. They
Yep.
have this little lip here to help you lift it
I'm
up.
glad I have my welder gloves for my oven mitts.
It's a heavy thing, but we've done now. We did jalapeno poppers in this, and that turned out.
I've done them
well,
too.
I don't know. I don't like them, so
They turned out awesome in my world. So I did them 2 ways, where I'd seen a recipe where you slice the jalapeno, seed it, or leave as many seeds in it that you prefer. And then you fill it with cream cheese, and then you put it back together and wrap the whole jalapeno in bacon. I've done it that way, and it worked really good. These were big jalapenos, so I kind of had to like push them down into the grooves. And then I did it one time where I just leave them like I would normally do, or I've done them in the past, is you leave them in half, fill them with cream cheese, wrap them in bacon, and bake them that way. And I've done that with the when the kids were over. I did that one night, and
with the UPAN.
With the UPAN, and so that worked too.
Okay. Do you think one was better than the other?
Well, it served more people doing it in halves.
Yeah.
Whereas that night I had a crowd.
Okay.
And so I would eat them both ways.
Okay.
But yeah, it was more, if you're looking economically, it was, if you're going to feed a crowd, it was to slice them in half.
And how many did you get on the pan? Do you know?
So I probably got 6 because these were a little shorter.
Okay.
So I probably got 6 on a tray.
Okay.
Or on a pan. No, 8. That would be 8. 8?
Maybe 10, 8, 10.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you do the ends too.
Yeah. I don't know what you did.
I don't remember. That was before we went on vacation. That was a while ago.
Well, I used it while you were gone. We
Yep.
did chicken tenders.
Yes.
And we, I wrapped them. I took the chicken tender and wrapped it in bacon, and then rolled
There's
it
a theme there.
in chili powder, and I believe it was brown sugar.
Oh.
Oh, those were really
So you had
good.
the spicy with the sweet?
Yes, those were really, really good. And the UPAN did a wonderful job on it.
To get an even heat all the way
even
around
heat all the way around.
So did you preheat the pan, or did you put them in and then throw?
Nope, I preheated the pan, and then I put them in the oven.
Yep. I think preheating the pan is better. I don't know better, but it works quicker maybe.
Yeah, I think you get that sizzle or that
Yeah.
sear. Maybe that's what we're
So did you
looking
put oil in before you put the chicken
for.
on?
Yes, I did. I think I used butter.
Okay.
And the other thing, we did do brats in here as well.
Okay.
Rich really likes brats. I'm not a brats person either, but I did brats in here. And, it browned them so beautifully. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Well, that's what he designed it for.
Yes, they were wonderful.
What does he call them? He called them bangers?
Well, I know the English do. Now, he's from New Zealand. His name is Jeremy.
The inventor.
And he invented this pan. And this UPAN is for sausages, and they eat lots and lots of sausages.
So the sausages are that long?
Well, have you seen any of his video stuff?
When I
they're
first got
pretty
it.
big.
Oh.
And he designed it so that you could put them on there, and your sausages wouldn't get away from you. That's why pan is designed like this. But for me, we don't eat a lot of sausages here,
No.
so I want to find other stuff to be able to use.
I want to
in this.
try meatballs in it.
Yes, that was one thing he did suggest doing meatballs, and I
What
have
else
not
did-
gotten to meatballs yet.
What did he suggest?
I did toad in a hole,
Oh, yeah.
New Zealand style. And I mean, that turned out okay. It's just not something that we eat. And so that's why I'm like, I got to find other things that we can make in
Or the
here.
chicken tenders are a good idea.
The chicken tenders were really, really good. The poppers they're really fun to do too.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like to eat them, but they're fun to make and
Well, I
use
think
the
you
pan
take the seeds out and you put the cream cheese in it, so it kind of mellows out any extreme heat.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, look how nice they sit in there.
Yeah,
I mean,
they do.
So they're not rolling or being weird or anything.
No,
like
they're not
that.
sliding all over the pan.
Yep. And we did them on the grill.
Yep.
When you guys were here.
Yep. When the kids were over, I did it on the grill too.
Yep. And so this pan works really well on a grill, as well as the oven or on the cooktop.
Yeah.
And they come out straight.
The jalapeno.
They don't curve the bangers.
Oh, the sausages. Yeah. They don't curve. You know,
Yeah,
how
oh, yeah.
sometimes like when you make a bratwurst.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right.
They get to be curved, and
Yeah.
this pan keeps them completely straight. I mean, even the ones I had, because I bought Johnsonville
Yep.
beer batter, whatever,
Whatever.
beer brats or whatever, and when they come out of the package, they're actually curved.
They're curved.
But
Yep.
they straightened out in the
Did they?
pan. Yes, they did. They did. And
We have to
so-
buy some brats this week.
Yeah, I mean, so it worked really, really well for that. But we don't have. I was like, well, let's see if I can find something interesting in the grocery store to make in here for sausages. We really do not have a whole lot of variety in sausages.
No. And if-
America must just not be the sausage capital of the world. I don't know.
Yeah. And then looking at it, they're not a very clean product in my world.
Right.
They have MSGs in it, and they'll have sugars in them. And so if you're trying to avoid some of those things because your body doesn't process them very well, I mean, it's hard.
Yes, it is. But I just am like, there's just not a whole lot here.
No, they're
to-
pretty basic seasoning. It seems like
Yep.
everybody uses the same seasoning.
Yep.
Beer, they'll put beer in them. Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I'm really impressed with this pan. I'm trying to figure out how else I can use it.
What else can you do it?
What else can I use to utilize it?
Tacos.
Tacos.
I can see it
maybe.
holding tacos. Oh, how about Takis? Is that what Takis is? What my son and I don't know what's in them. There's like you take a taco shell and you put taco meat in it, and I'm so amazing cheese and then curl it up, not fold it like a burrito, just leave it open, and lay them in there. That'd be only for if it's just you two. That'd be enough maybe for our family. No.
Yeah. So we'll keep looking here and try to see what it is, but I think that's all I have done in this pan.
Yeah, that's all I've done with
far.
it.
And I'm just trying to figure out if you got an idea, let
Yeah.
us know. We'd love to try this and see what else
Yeah.
we can do with it. It cleans up really easy, real nice, just like most cast iron does.
Yeah.
If you know
Do
what you're
not
doing.
leave it dry overnight. Ask me how I know this.
Oh,
Yeah. It did get kind of crusty, and so I had to work at it a little bit. But that was user's fault, not pan fault.
okay.
I mean, that's just like a cast iron. If you leave a cast iron and don't clean it up right away, you got to work for it.
Yeah. So if you're interested in this, it's UPAN
.com.
shop, I believe.
I don't know.
I think it's
The
UPAN.
letter
If you Google UPAN,
U.
Yep.
the letter
and it's,
U.
the letter U,
So the letter U and then PAN.
yeah, Google that.
And go ahead. It's so worth it. It is. It
Yeah.
really is.
They have a warehouse here in the U.S. It didn't take long to get it either.
No, it did not. We
Was
had
it
it
Michigan?
we had it within
Michigan,
a
I
week.
think.
Well,
Is it?
we're in Minnesota. That's not
That's not
far
very
to
far.
ship it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I highly recommend the UPAN. If you are a sausage person or have
Popper.
a pino popper person.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to make. It doesn't make like if you're going to do a crowd, it's not enough for a crowd, but it's like you just take. Yeah.
Appetizer type
Yeah.
type thing in there.
It works great for us, where we're doing like a charcuterie board type event.
Yep. So, trying to think of anything else I want to say about the UPAN.
That's probably about it.
That's probably about it. Covered
Yeah.
on that. And I don't know. Is there anything else we want to talk about? We'll be using the 4 lids,
4 jars.
4 jars
Lids.
lids. Here as we start canning, you'll probably
I
start
will use
using
them
those
tonight.
for your grape
Yep.
juice. So we'll see how that turns out for you, because they worked really well for me with the rhubarb concentrate that I made.
Oh, that's right.
Yep, and
I forgot
they
about
are
that.
still sealed. So
Yay.
yes,
And they you look at their instruction. Did you read their instruction?
well, I probably did. I don't remember now.
But like the USDA is saying that we don't need to boil our lids anymore and stuff. But they in their directions say to
Yep,
heat
yep.
them up.
because they use a heavier rubber or
yeah.
whatever, and you need to. It's more like the old-fashioned lids, because
Where you
they've
need to-
changed those lids.
Yep.
Ball and
Oh yeah,
curl
and I think that's why some people are having issues with sealage.
Faster, cheaper.
Yeah.
Yep, but you can order those lids in bulk, and you can buy 100.
It was 100,
lids.
yep.
And so if they work,
Because we had
that
a
is
code
the way to
for
go.
them. Is that code still good?
Should be.
Yeah. So the code was for 10% off your order was small farm.
Okay, small farm, one word,
Yeah.
all small letters.
I don't
Might
have
not
that
matter.
in my notes.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's all small letters. Yeah, so if you're looking for a place to get lids and you want them,
Oh.
a lot of them at one time.
And they're dish towels. They sent us some dish towels
Yes,
too.
they did.
I love them. And as I need to replace my kitchen towels, I will be ordering those.
The
Oh.
waffle
They-
towels.
Yes, the waffle towels, right?
The waffle towels, they dry so much quicker than like I use a lot of tea towels, terry
Yep.
towels.
Yep.
And they dry pretty good, but those waffle weaves, they like suck the moisture right off, especially like Tupperware type plastic containers. Even tea towels kind of just push the water around a little bit.
That's so frustrating.
Yeah, and so these I just used it up, when I was cleaning up after lunch, and it was like dried them and I could put them away. I didn't need to leave them sit out and finish drying while I'm gone.
Oh, nice. See, mine is just hanging on my
No,
my
Carol.
door over there.
You keep one for photo props, and you use the other two. Now, the only disadvantage is that I treat it like my other microfiber cloths, and I don't wash those with like my regular towels and stuff, like your bath towels and stuff, because they will grab that fiber
right.
and hold on to it. So that's the only disadvantage of having two of them, because I need more of them.
Okay. Well, hopefully you can order some more.
Yeah, we'll see. And then they have that food saver, our lid sealing kit. I was going to order it before because it's battery powered. I think it's charged. I don't remember the details now that it's been, but I went to order it before we went on vacation, thinking I'd use it in the motorhome to seal jars of food and everything.
Right.
And it was pre-ordered, and I'm like, that's not going to work for me. So
did you order it anyway,
No, I
or
didn't.
you're waiting now?
I'm gonna go back, and I haven't gone back in and looked at it
Okay.
since I've been back, but I want to order it so that I have it in the motorhome,
Nice.
so that when I don't have my larger food saver, that I can still seal potato salad and stuff, where I can get my potato salad to last 2 weeks.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's just crazy.
Well, you don't like potato salad.
Yeah, I know, but just the idea that
Yeah.
you can keep it that long
Yeah, because then
you vacuum sealed it.
Yeah, because I still make the regular size, my recipe that I developed years ago, but I developed it when I had 6 people in the house and an occasional guest, and it would be gone in 2-3 days. Whereas now it will last as maybe 2 weeks because I vacuum seal it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That
It's
really is.
like I have cantaloupe and grapes that I bought last week when I came home, and we're still eating the cantaloupe and grapes now. So we can have later.
That's
because I
that's a
vacuum-
really good investment. those little
It was the
vacuum seals.
best $30 I ever spent in my life at a garage sale. Fortunate, I was fortunate to find it at a garage sale, but
Yeah, so
I would even still, I would be torn between doing a food saver or to do a Avid Armor. That it's a space issue with that. It's
yes,
bigger.
our chamber unit there does take up some space.
Yeah, so I'd have to try to find a space to put it. But I would probably, because can't you seal liquid stuff in there and not have it suck up in?
Yep.
Yes.
Because like my corn, that's why it's on trays.
Oh, you talked about your corn.
Yeah, I did traditional. Yeah, I blanched it, and I blanched it in the pressure cooker though. My electric pressure cookers, for you're supposed to blanch them for 5 minutes. I pressure cooked them for 3 minutes, cut them off the cobs, but to then vacuum seal them with a food saver, you have to be really careful about not getting liquids up in your pump, and so you're always dumping the drip tray that's in
Okay.
there. So it's
Yep.
kind of the second batch I froze, laid them flat on the freeze dry tray, put them in there, and so now I'm vacuum packing them, and I have no issues with water now.
Because you
Yeah.
basically flash froze them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it would be nice not to have to do that.
That extra step.
Yeah, so
But at least you got a way to work around it.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know. Okay, so then we went back to preserving.
The preserving. We may have an outline, but it may not be followed.
So, okay, I think that's about it
Yeah.
to cover what's been going on.
Yeah.
And I think
That's probably
I
it.
think we're done. Yeah. And we've even got 6 minutes left on our little 4 jars timer.
Yes, that's cute.
That's really cute. We use it here to
And-
time ourselves so we don't go and yabber too long.
And
here.
just remember, you've got to turn it all the way to 55 and then back, because we thought they were broken when we first got them.
So yeah, they're really, really cute, and what a handy little thing. So I guess until next time.
Put some kefir on it.
Thank you for listening to Homestead Podcast's latest episode. Your hosts, Carol Radke and Jamie Kappas, are Two Gals Homesteading. To learn more, go to twogalshomesteading.com or the Two Gals Homesteading Facebook page at facebook.com/twogalshomesteading. Editing, audio production, and marketing of the Homestead Podcast is the responsibility of Media Transx. The Homestead Podcast is an audio product of Media Transx, a limited liability company, based in Minnesota, USA.